gives us great pleasure in having you on board today.
Oh, Jesus. Perfect crash landing.
So, it's over 300 years old now.
Hello?
Conditions here today, a barrage of fog. We're about to go to Flat Holm. I don't know why I'm squinting, there's no sun out yet. The sun is destined to come out. It's only a thin veil of fog. And the boat is somewhere over there. Let's go and check it. Oh, there goes the barrage. I've never seen that going up. Oh, there's a traffic jam in the barrage.
Is it?
I don't. Is it? Bloody hell. All piling in the barrage. I presume it's to protect the bay from the open sea. I hope he's got a GPS. Open sea.
Bring it down, and then there's like a basin, and then that would be part of Western. There, it's I think. Oh.
Oh, Jesus. Perfect crash landing.
Get the front one in so that you're not in front.
I don't want to get my head taken off by a bloody gull.
My eyes packed in.
Oh God. Being warned off. Oh, he's aggressive, isn't he? The quicker we get through this section, the better. Having to be led through the seagull colony, as they're quite aggressive. Oh, Christ. Oh, eggs. See the eggs? Strange experience this is.
It's quite unusual, yeah.
What's up? Bird shit could be out. Been there since the Bronze Age. Monks, pirates, Marconi. Water.
So Flat Holm was designated as an area where it needed to be heavily fortified because the French could threaten Bristol and Cardiff. So she stationed, she wanted 300 men on the island. There was only ever 50. There's no fresh water on the island, so what they did was they built this, which is a Victorian water catchment system. So this basically collected all the rainwater through the year and then funneled it down into that corner there. So it's tiled and bricked. It goes down into that corner and then it goes underground into a tank which holds about 250,000 litres. It's massive. And then that they would pump by hand back to the surface and they would use it for drinking and cooking.
It is very much like Hitchcock. The birds. Oh, this one's not moving. Did you just keep walking? Statistically, you're very likely to get shit on.
Each depot just over there, and this over here is Breen Point. So just to the left there you can see Western, just about Western Super there. So what we're looking at here is, this is one of the cannons, the Victorian cannons. So there was loads of these on the island. When Queen Victoria decided to fortify the island, she wanted loads of these on the island. So they were so heavy they just couldn't take them off again, so they just left them here. So they were housed inside that pit, and they would have a group of men down there who would load the cannon, and then it would use a counterweight to lift the cannon above the pit, and then when it fired, the recoil would take it back into the pit where they would reload. So yeah, that was kind of Queen Victoria's legacy to the Flat Holm. And then after World War One, it was fortified even more, and in World War Two, it's fortified even more. So that's why we have these fortifications from World War Two around the island. Lots of additional pillboxes and machine gun posts. These were used for anti-aircraft guns, things like that. So this is Flat Holm Lighthouse. So it's over 300 years old now, so it's a very old lighthouse. Originally, there was no lighthouse. Before this lighthouse, there was a number of other lighthouses, oil-powered, coal-powered, but this has been in place for 300 years. There was no lighthouse on the island for quite a long time. It was so dangerous, and there was a number of shipwrecks. It was only until a really bad one where 60 people lost their lives that they decided, okay, we're going to build a lighthouse. And it was actually a private enterprise to begin with, so it was a private landowner built his own lighthouse and was charging the government. So Trinity House run all the lighthouses in the UK. All lighthouses now are fully automatic. This is run totally on solar power with a backup generator. The engineers only come once or twice a year to check on it, but it's fine. It never seems to go wrong. It's not to the traditional rotating light. It has a red filter on one side, so that indicates to the ships that they need to keep the red to the left hand side, and they'll be safe. So this one is probably about 2 weeks old now. So basically the female peregrine is 30% larger than the male and hunts the adult gulls. It's more than capable of taking the adult gulls down. So they dominate the island. They're basically the only bird of prey that lives here all year round. Any other bird of prey that comes onto the island, they'll chase them away. They won't accept any competition. And they hunt by usually catching the bird with their talons, or if it's too big, sometimes they roll their talons up into a fist and they will just hit it, and then it would either knock the bird out or kill it outright, and then they will finish it off when it hits the ground. Lesser blackback gull. So we have 20% of Wales's population here, and they come to nest every year. So the amazing thing about these gulls is somehow they know exactly where they were hatched. So when they come back as adults to have their own young, they will try and nest exactly where they were hatched. The problem with that is sometimes you'll have 3 eggs in a clutch, so that's 3 birds trying to nest in the same spot. The problem with that is that they're also incredibly voracious and they don't mind eating each other's chicks. So it does get quite crowded, and it does get quite messy when they're all having chicks and the chicks everywhere and they're all trying to eat each other's chicks. It does get a bit crazy. And sometimes they bring back shiny things as a gift for their partner, so they mate for life, so they're all monogamous.
Have they ever brought you back any coins then, or
yeah,
valuable?
Well, we've had metal detectors on the island who have found a lot of old coins, but that's probably from the people that were here.
All right.
The kind of
diamond rings, have they ever brought you anything like that?
Yeah, I got a gold nugget the other day. It's
No.
just like, yeah. No, I've never. Unfortunately, it's normally bottle caps, glass, bits of shiny plastic, stuff like that, dog toys, random stuff. It's interesting what they bring back. But we do a gull count, which we'll do next month. So we'll go around and we'll just literally count all the eggs on the floor. We'll get an idea of how many new gulls are coming into the world this year. The grey lump in the grass, which is the monument to Marconi. So Marconi was a brilliant Italian engineer. When he was 21, he came to the UK because he couldn't get funding in Italy for his science experiment, and he wanted to send a signal through the air, which people thought was crazy, but he proved it on land. And then he came here and he proved it across water, where he set up an antenna and he sent a signal across the Lavernock Point.
Oh god, gotta run the gauntlet again. Oh Christ. Top tip if you don't want to get assaulted by a seagull. Oh god. Then come when breeding season and egg season's finished.
So it was basically a radar platform, so they had a mobile radar truck which they would reverse onto the top there, and then they built a wire mesh fence all the way around it, and the idea was that that fence would block all the interference from everything on the ground, so the only thing they would pick up on the radar was everything in the sky. It was an anti-aircraft island, so it was full of anti-aircraft guns, so that was the radar they had. Nothing ever fired on the island. The Germans never got close enough, so they used to skirt around it and bomb Cardiff. They never came close to the island. But at the time, there was 500 men here. It was probably quite a good place to be in World War II. They even had a railway, actually. They had a railway running around the island, transporting munitions, which they stole from the Germans in World War I. And then at the end of World War II, they got German POWs onto the island to dismantle everything, which is why there's hardly anything left. And then they left the island for farming.
The perspective of Flat Holm and no one at home. Sun's come out now. We had the picnic inside because there's that many gulls around, it wasn't worth the hassle. The ramp thing. Hello? No, it doesn't echo.
Is this what you were saying before about the cannons?
Yeah, you have your cannon in there and then it pops up, fires and then drops back down again.
Oh, brilliant.
It's the end of a cannon. RMHS. Oh, hello. Someone's left the packed lunch in there. Or a geocache, I imagine. Hello, ho, ho, lo, ho, ho, lo, ho, ho. Found anything of significance, madam?
I wonder how deep these go, given the weight they carried. These bolts, reinforcing bolt things.
Nice shadows. You go in and take the camera with you.
Okay.
I'll wait out here for you.
Is Victor?
Just scream if you find anything, and I'll go and let the bloke know.
There are bones on the floor. Hello? It's pitch black.